Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurfazila binti Mastar. In this video, my team and I would like to present our group project for ITT300, which is the Introduction to Data Communication and Networking. The case study given to us is the case study number 3, where we were instructed to set up and configure the wireless LAN for our client, which is the Research Garden in USM. We are required to fulfill several requirements based on the questions. Now I will pass the baton to my teammate to discuss our further point.
Okay, so this is our case study 3, which we need to design, set up and configure the wireless LAN for Research Garden in USM. This company provide the requirement as follows. They need to provide hotspot with 10 PCs, 10 laptops and 5 mobile phones for their staff connected via wirelessly. The access point will be connected to switch via cable, and the switch will be connected to router using wired LAN as outgoing sources. All the wired cable used for the setup must at least use UTP cable. Besides that, this company requests the team to set up their web server regarding Research Garden and their activities. And the last one is all the PCs and laptop staff are required to be able to access their website as default successfully via wirelessly. So now I'm going to show you the demo of using the Cisco Packet Tracer. This is our setup design of the Research Garden in USM. Consists of 10 PCs, 10 laptops, 5 mobile phones, access point, switch, router and server. In order for all these devices to connect wirelessly, we need to set up the access point that creates the wireless signal to provide the internet connection and connect all these devices to the access point. You can see that this PC is already successfully connected to the access point. The access point are connected to the switch and the switch are connected to the router. Notice that all the cable used in this setup is copper straight through. The company also asks us to set up their website, so we need to set up the server. This will be the pages of the website once we access the website using the HTML and so on. In order for other devices to access the website, we're gonna need the IP address of the server, which is, in this case, it will be 192.168.2.26. I'm going to show you some example. Go to the desktop and web browser and enter the IP address, which is 192.168.2.26. So yeah, we successfully access the website. This is the page activities. Okay, so from the setup design, we can see that it is used point-to-point connection and ring topology, which means a single cable are used to connect to end devices. In this case, such as a cable used to connect the access point and the switch, and a router to switch and connect to the server to the switch.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Adlin Afini binti Cik Ismail, and I'm going to present to you about the design of the network. First is the physical structure. Based on the design, we can see that it uses a point-to-point connection and it provides a dedicated link between two devices. The access point, router and server are connected to the switch using their respective cables, which means a single cable are used to connect between two end devices. Next is network topology. We can conclude that based on the complete design, star topology is used. Each device is not linked with each other, but it only can be connected to the central connection point. So in this case, it is the switch. Star topology requires more cables if there are many end devices. However, it is easy to install and it does not disrupt the network when connecting or removing the device. The third point is transmission media. For this design, we use the guided cable, unshielded twisted pair cable, which is UTP, to connect the access point to switch device and between switch device and the router. So why we use UTP is because they are much more cheaper and it is commonly used in the market compared to STP. Besides, they are also the fastest copper-based transmission medium compared to STP. UTP cables are also suitable to transmit data and voice, and the frequency range of this cable is between 100 Hz to 5 MHz. Moreover, UTP cables are dispensable and have an easier process of installation. Next, we use the registered jack RJ45 as a connector to connect our cables. RJ45 is the most ideal connector because it has an 8-point or 8 positions of plug for the connecting device connected to the local area network. Lastly, as our connecting devices are all wireless, we use the unguided media, which is the microwaves, to connect with all the network devices. Both the radio and microwaves frequencies are between 1 to 300 GHz, but it is stated that radio waves only radiates between 3 kHz to 1 GHz. So microwaves are the most suitable waves for our research. Last but not least, microwaves could also transmit a huge data, so it fits with our research concept. Next, I will show you the output from our design.
My name is Nofaika binti Azhar and I will continue with course implementation. Okay, for network device and cabling. Okay, we use access point, switch, router, server, cable UTP and cable connector. Okay, for access point, switch, router and server, the quantity that we use is 1. For cable UTP, we use 3. And cable connector, the quantity is 6. Okay, then for the total cost for network device and cabling is 7,907 and 81 ringgit. Okay, next for hardware. Hardware we use laptop, mobile phone and PC. Okay, for laptop we use 10. For mobile phone we use 5. And then for PC we have 10. Okay, the total cost for hardware is 47,086 and 70 ringgit. Okay, next for software. Software we use only one, which is network simulation software, Cisco. And then this software, the installation is free, so we did not have the cost for software. So the total cost for software is 0.
Now, moving on to the strengths and weaknesses. From the result that we obtained from the network design and connection implementation has been tested, we realized that there are several strengths or advantages as well as some weaknesses occur in our project. Firstly, network topology. We chose to implement a star topology in our project. The strengths are it's easy to locate and detect the fault occur and to remove parts. This makes it easy to manage and maintain the network. Next, the probability of network failure are low by connecting entire system to a central node, and each of the machine requires separate cables. For example, when there is a failure in cable, then only one computer might get affected instead of the entire system. The weaknesses or the disadvantages are that they are more expensive than other topologies since it uses a lot of cables. Moreover, performance of the network depends on one single hub. Thus, if the hub goes down, the entire network system will fail. Now, moving on to the strength and weakness of a transmission media, we use UTP and STP cable. Firstly, The advantage of using UTP cable, they are more cheaper per meter compared to STP cable, and the weakness are they more prone to the electric noise and interference than the other cables. They are likely to be vulnerable to radio frequency and electromagnetic interference. Therefore, it is important to keep it away from the wave range of electric motors and fluorescent lighting.